Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing the 99th dragon of the 100 Dragon Challenge. So, for this one, I'm going to be doing the Year of the Dragon. This was the final one from our mini series of the Chinese lunar Zodiac creature dragon combos. So this was the final one. Technically, I did do a New Year's dragon forever ago. I don't even remember what year that was. Maybe it was last year or the year before. It was very much New Year's based, had some cool firecrackers going on. And I know a couple people in the community pointed out that that one could potentially count as the dragon of the Zodiac type of thing. But I decided that I think I should make a separate one. I felt it kind of was, I don't know, at least to me, it felt like I was cheating to be like, oh yeah, retroactively, this one was the Zodiac one. So I decided I just wanted to do a new one just so I can be like, yes, definitely this one is the Year of the Zodiac, Year of the Dragon type of thing. So this is the design for that. So what this one was based off of was I love the cool, large, I guess you could call them puppets. I don't know if there's a term for them. Off the top of my head, I'm kind of blanking on it, but in a lot of the cool Lunar New Year's celebrations and parades and things, they have these really awesome long dragons that are held by performers either on sticks or kind of like the New Year's lion costumes. They have them for dragons as well, where it's a ton of people in one big long dragon. I have always found the craftsmanship and the designs on those things so amazing, and there's so many cool and different looks for a ton of them. It's nuts. When I was doing research for this one, I just found so many amazing patterns and colors and designs, and they all just look so amazing. So I was like, let's take that idea and make it a dragon. So it doesn't have the open bottom, there's no sticks coming out of it. I just wanted to make a really cool long lindworm type dragon and have all of the amazing texture and patterning that goes along with those larger puppet type of designs. So I did a couple of rough sketches earlier on just to kind of figure out, I guess, what plating I wanted to do for the scales and the overall look. And then it was time to jump into the final design for this dragon. I really wanted it to be cool and twisting and turning on the page. This one was a little hard because I was I wanted to have a really long, cool looking body, but immediately I got really stuck on making the head, and then I just couldn't get the body to fit. So I did get it to fit in the end. It just took a couple tries and erasing and kind of replanning, but I got a really cool design that I liked, and it had that nice twisty turny effect. And then it was time to get into doing a lot of the heavier detailing. There was this one that I found online that had these really cool rectangular shaped scales. And so I wanted to do that along the body, as well as having kind of the spines that I see that go around the back. And they also would go down the stomach and chest of a couple of the different puppets. So I kind of combined those two ideas into this design. So this one did take a very long time. This video is going to be kind of closer to, I think it's the 18-minute mark in general. I know some of mine have ranged in length, but this one did take a very long time for the line art and planning phase because I really wanted to nail those scales and the kind of texturing that comes with the puppet look. So I kind of did some pre-planning by putting down the bands of where these would go. I kind of wanted them to line up with those spines that were on the back. In certain parts, I kind of broke my own rule just because it looked better to have more, I guess not super long scales in certain parts, just to have them a little bit smaller. Because I didn't want, when the body is twisting and turning, certain parts of the scales just didn't look right if I just left them super long to go with the spines. So I ended up kind of breaking my own rule here and there for the different scaling, but I think in the end it looks really, really cool. But yeah, as you can see, there are a ton of these scales, or I don't know if you'd call them scales. I guess since this is technically now a real dragon and not just a puppet, yes, these are the scales. There was a ton of detailing that went into each one, and it took a lot of time to do the line art. I ended up doing this one partially live on Twitch, so we got through quite a bit of it online, and we just kind of chatted about the 100 Dragon Challenge and reminisced on how far this has come. So I will be releasing a video coming up here in December. I'm going to be kind of doing a look back through the whole challenge. It's been 4 years, I think, since I started this challenge to do 100 different dragons. I used to do, I think I did like 2 a month for a while, and then we moved to 1 a month. So we were going through them a lot faster earlier on in this process, but I'm kind of glad that I changed it to once a month, both because like the algorithm, I think, doesn't really like these videos, and I know like I'm doing this because I want to do it. I want to make these dragon designs, and that's kind of it. Like, I wanted to finish this challenge. I didn't want to abandon it. But I know it's been kind of in and out on if you guys like them or if you like watching them. But I was like, I just want to finish this for me. Like, I started it, I want to finish it. But either way, we were kind of just reminiscing about it during the Twitch stream. And I'm going to be doing basically a full video reacting to every single one that I have drawn. So I'm probably just going to watch the videos a little bit on fast forward. We're going to commentate through all of them and kind of reminisce on where this challenge has come. It's had its highs and lows, and it's just an awesome experience to look back on. I'm really proud of actually being able to finish this, like actually sitting down and getting these done every month or every other month, ups and downs of life, but we still got here. And it's kind of crazy to just see how much my art has changed and progressed. I know we'll talk about this more in the big reflection video. But this felt like, if you've ever done Inktober, I feel like I've been doing Inktober for like 4 years. It's just been 4 years of dragons. So it felt pretty fitting to have the 99th dragon be the year of the dragon. Plus, next year is the year of the dragon, which is really strangely fitting that we're doing the 100th one after New Year's. We're getting the year of the dragon for the final dragon. It's so crazy how that worked out, because I took breaks in between here on YouTube. We had like random hiccups where I missed a month, just life happened. But in the end, we got this to finish in the year of the dragon. So that just kind of blew my mind, that with all my hiccups and with the process of this challenge, it's still finished on such a cool date. It's mind-blowing. I'm really shocked, and it's so cool. It's so cool. I can't get over it. So yeah, back to the drawing. As you can see, like I said, it took a long time to do this line art. There was a lot of detailing and a lot of little scales and things to do. And at this point, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do the color of this. So like I said, I did a lot of research on some of the different puppets and designs, and it was very hard to pick because there's so many beautiful designs and patterns and paint jobs on these. It's just mind-blowing, the craftsmanship behind the original puppets. So I basically had like 6 tabs open of a couple of different ones that I found on Google. And I was like, okay, what do I like about each of these? What do I want to see on my dragon? Or like, how can I interpret these in my own design? And with that, I was like, okay, I found a few that had a lot of different colors, and they just worked so well together. So I was like, we're going to try to do as many colors as I can to kind of match a couple of the puppets' looks, but I didn't want to overcrowd it or make it look too busy with too many colors. So I actually tested out a few here that I end up not using. I do have the full list there on the left of the final ones that did make it into the dragon, but I did test quite a few that I was planning on using, but then cohesive-wise, I just ended up going for a very particular color palette in general. So I think I ended up omitting maybe like 3 of these markers that I tested, and then I ended up using some of them. I just traded out a few, just in general. So with the colors picked out, it was time to get stuck in and get to coloring this big beast. So here during the coloring of the face, I was also kind of experimenting with where I wanted to go with the color in general for this dragon. Like I said, for all of these in the series, I have an idea going in, kind of. I'm very much the type where I probably should thumbnail colors on like a mini version of these to like really cement it in, but I just kind of go for it, which has like been great in some instances, but for sure looking back at a couple dragons, I'm like, man, I should have thumbnailed colors, and then this probably would have been an even stronger dragon. But this one, I had a pretty general idea of what I wanted to do, but I kind of started in the face to plan out a couple of colors and then just go from there. So I just had the idea that I wanted this dragon to be generally like an orangish tone with some blues and yellows and purples distributed throughout the body. And I knew that on the scales, I wanted to have kind of like this circular yellow in the middle top of each one, and then have these really cool bands of blue that I saw on a couple of different puppets. They changed the color, like it wasn't always blue, but I really liked that kind of, not like wave effect, but almost like a crescent moon effect that's at the end of each of these scales. I just thought that was really cool, so I wanted to replicate that on my scales as well. And this was fun because it was very much nitty-gritty, small details on small scales with big markers. That's the one thing that I've always found kind of challenging with these over the years, is these markers are both great, but also pretty thick-tipped, so it's a little hard to get into some of the smaller drawing areas, but, you know, we made it work for 99 episodes. But yeah, so I figured out how I wanted to do these scales with the blue, the black, the yellow, and the orange, and then I knew that the stomach I wanted to keep more in the white tones, but I wanted to pull in the purple that I used on the whiskers and the tongue, so I thought it'd be really cool to add the banding effect along the bottom of them. And then I wanted to kind of incorporate a little bit of orange on the stomach as well, which you'll see in a little bit. And I noticed a couple of the puppets had these like bands of the color down the middle of the belly scales, and then either towards the bottom or along the sides, they would continue that like color that goes down the belly. And so that was kind of my idea, but this is the part where I kind of wish I thumbnailed, because I'm okay with how it turned out. But, you know, once you dedicate to marker, it's there. There's no going back. So the shape that I chose on these first couple of belly scales, I wasn't too pleased with. I think it works okay, and I correct it for the rest of the belly scales, but that one I kind of wish I changed a little bit. Like I said, I still like it. I think it looks good, and overall, it doesn't really affect the design for me. But it's just one of those little things where I was like, oh, dang, I should have just did a little mini sketch of it on the side and figured it out before we really dedicated to the final look. But I do like the little splash of orange on the stomach. It kind of ties it back into the big scales along the rest of the body. And then I like having the purple along everything, because I was going to just use it for the whiskers and the tongue, but I was like, I feel we need it more throughout other parts of the body, so it's not just like, it's only here. Like, I felt it needed to be in other places. So putting it on the belly, I think, really worked out, and just had the color just pull throughout the entire body, which was nice. But yeah, so we're getting close here to the end, just finishing up these last couple of scales. It took a very long time to do this one. It was very fun to do, and I'm glad that I kind of went ham on this. Well, it's not the final dragon. You know, we got the 100th dragon, but this feels like almost like a final dragon to me. I'm glad I went a little bit more intense with the detailing, just to kind of have like a final hoorah for these dragons. It's really cool. It's really cool to look back and see how they've changed. Like, every dragon I kept adding more details to. I kept improving my anatomy. I kept changing up, like, I guess my default setting in my brain for dragons, and I kept trying to push my boundaries on things, which was really cool to see. And I feel I've grown a lot overall in the series, but you'll hear more about that in our December reflection video. But either way, this was awesome. I can't believe we're here, the 99th dragon. Wow, just like 4 years later, we're here. But yeah, this was really cool, and I'm glad that I did the Year of the Dragon. we finished up the Zodiac mini-series right here at the end. We had a lot of fun mini-series throughout this 100 Dragon Challenge, and it was just cool to finish off the Zodiac with the Year of the Dragon right before the Year of the Dragon. But let's go ahead and look at last month's dragons and see what you guys drew. So first up, Awoon. I really love how cute and cuddly this dragon design is. It's just so fluffy and adorable. I love it. And Dr. Luzus, I'm sorry if I butchered your username. I absolutely love your creepy, cool moth dragon and the lighting that you got off the fire. It's really cool. And overall, guys, these were awesome. I really liked seeing all of your dragons. Some of them more traditional medium, some of them digital. It was really cool. So thanks again, guys, so much for participating in the moth dragon. We only have one more submission left. So if you want to do a Year of the Dragon, make sure to post it on Twitter or Instagram under the hashtag KM100Dragons. And on Instagram, make sure to actually tag my profile at KMcCaigue because Instagram's doing a weird new sorting thing and I'll lose track of it. Or you could join our Discord where we have a whole channel dedicated to it so you can upload and post it there. But either way, thank you guys again so much for following along with this journey. I can't wait to do the looking back video here coming up in December. And then we'll be done. And I'll show you guys the 100th dragon coming up very soon. But either way, thank you guys again so much. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.